Hello, students. In this lecture, we will read the essay A Tryst with Destiny by Jawaharlal Nehru. So, Jawaharlal Nehru, besides being the Prime Minister of India, he was also a writer and he has written speeches which actually combine his life with the life of the nation. And he has written works like Letters from a Father to His Daughter, and the well known work is his autobiography, The Discovery of India. Another one is Glimpses of World History, and there are other some extempore speeches that he wrote and delivered. This particular essay, A Tryst with Destiny, was delivered by Pandit Nehru on the eve of India's independence, that is on 14th August 1947. And in this speech, he remembers the past and suggests some ways to build the future. He asks the nation to serve not only India but to the whole humanity. So, Pandit Nehru says, Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. A moment comes which comes but rarely in history when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. It is fitting that at this solemn movement, it is at this solemn movement we take the pledge of dedication to the service of India and her people and to the still larger cause of humanity. So Pandit Nehru is talking about a tryst with destiny, that is an appointment with destiny. So he talks about the time, the date which was fixed for India's independence in the destiny of the country. And he says this particular time and moment was actually fixed long back in the destiny of India, and now it is the time to redeem our pledge. Now it is the time to fulfill the pledge, the promise that we made, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. Now he says that it is not necessary. So he says not only in full measure, that is not totality in one go, but very substantially, but to a great extent, we are responsible to fulfill our pleasure. And at the stroke of midnight hour, as soon as the clock will strike 12, the whole world will actually sleep, but the country India will see a new day of freedom and of life. So this moment is a rare moment which comes rarely in history, because we are going from old to the new, and there is a whole era which is going to end of slavery, and our country whose soul has been imprisoned by the Britishers is going to find its voice, it's going to find its space and liberty. So he says it is this particular moment is the most is the best time to take a new pledge, that is to dedicate ourselves in the service of our country, and not only to the country but to the whole humanity. At the dawn of history, India started on her unending quest, and trackless centuries are filled with her striving and the grandeur of her success and failures. Though good and ill fortune alike, she has never lost sight of that quest or forgotten the ideals which gave her strength. We end today a period of misfortunes, and India discovers herself again. The achievement we celebrate today is but a step, an opening up of opportunity to the greater triumphs and achievements that await us. Are we brave enough and wise enough to grasp this opportunity and accept the challenge of the future? So he says that this is the time, that it's the dawn of history, it's the beginning of India's new history, and we were in search of our search for liberty was unending, and there has been trackless centuries which were filled with our country striving for different things. There were success, there were failures, and through its mixed bag of good and ill fortune, we never lost the sight of the high ideals that always motivated our country. So, we today are ending a period of misfortunes, misery, and we are discovering how our country is full of new opportunities to go for greater triumphs and greater achievements. So he says, are we brave enough to grasp this opportunity, to hold this opportunity and accept new challenges? Freedom and power bring responsibility, and the responsibility rests upon the assembly, that is, that is the representatives of our country, to represent the sovereign people of India. And before the birth of freedom, we have endured all the pains of labor, and our hearts are heavy with the memory of this sorrow. So, before we got independence, we have suffered a lot, and we have all that bad memories in our heart. We have sorrow regarding that, and some of those pains continue even now. There are certain things which still make us upset. Nevertheless, the past is over and it is the future that we are looking forward to. So, that future is not one of ease. So, this future is not one of ease of resting but of incessant striving. We have to continuously strive so that we continue to fulfill all the pledges that we have taken and to continue to fulfill them in the coming days. And the service of India means the service of the millions who suffer. It means the ending of poverty and ignorance, and poverty and disease and inequality of opportunity. So he says it this particular time, this particular service to humanity means ending all the problems and challenges that the country is facing, that is poverty, ignorance, disease, inequality of opportunity. And the ambition of the greatest man of our generations, that is, he is referring to the Mahatma Gandhi. The greatest man of our generation has been to wipe every tear from every eye. That may be beyond us, but as long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will not be over. So he says that was the ambition that Mahatma Gandhi had. So until we have even one person having tears in his eyes or is suffering, our work is not over. And so we have to labor and to work hard to give reality to our dreams. Those dreams are for India, but they are also for the world, for all the nations and peoples are too closely knit together for any one of them to imagine that it can live apart. So he's talking about a time when all of us have to work together, and so that we give reality to our dreams, so that we can realize the dreams, and those dreams are not only for the country but it is for the whole world, because he believes that all of us, whether we are belonging to different countries, we are closely connected to each other, and therefore it is not possible for us to live apart, live live in different places. Peace has been said to be indivisible, and peace cannot be divided. So is freedom. Freedom can also not be divided. So is prosperity now, and so also is disaster in this one world that can no longer be split into isolated fragments. So these things like peace, freedom, prosperity, they cannot be divided into pieces. Therefore, you cannot think of peace, freedom, and prosperity only about your country. You have to think globally when you think about the about peace, freedom, and prosperity in the whole universe. Only then you will be able to bring it to your own country. So, to the people of India, whose representatives we are, we make an appeal to join us with faith and confidence in this great adventure. Now, he's calling all the people that all the people of India should come together and join us with faith and confidence in this great adventure of fulfilling our dreams and building prosperity, peace, and freedom for the whole world. And this is no time for petty and destructive criticism, no time for ill will or blaming others. It is not the time that we blame each other, but it is the time that we come together and to build the future. And stop destructive criticism, stop criticizing each other, stop blaming each other, and rather we should work to build the country as a epitome of peace, prosperity, and freedom. So he finally says that we have to build the noble mansion of free India where all her children may dwell. So, this is the time that we have to build the country in such a way that is a noble mansion, that is a noble palace where the country will be free and all the children of the country, all the citizens of country, they will live there with peace, freedom and prosperity. They will work together instead of blaming each other, to think about the whole humanity, to think about the good for the whole universe. This is all in the speech uh, written by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, A Tryst with Destiny, a promise that the country made with the destiny of India to achieve its freedom and to work for the global peace, prosperity, and freedom. Thank you so much.